A piece of the ancient elven seal has been recovered at the tomb site. If reconstructed, the seal might prove useful. Enter Elandrin's chamber. So we found 9 seals, and we are ready to proceed deeper.
I wonder what the elves left here.
Yo, dog, where your artifact at? Are there any? There shouldn't be any Venatori in here because we just opened this door. We just remade the seal ourselves. Off in the distance, that kind of looks like a elven artifact that helps with the veil, so I'll check that out in a second. I kind of want to... Oh god, this is going to wrap back around? I just wanted to scrape the walls to keep an eye around myself, but might get a little... Oh, Jesus. I mean, these have to be better than some of the... I'm going to go do some inventory management and just throw away some of my shitty white items that aren't particularly useful. Alright, I just destroyed some white quality items. Some dumb... Just too many white quality weapons. I wasn't expecting to fill up during this, so I didn't really question it, but yeah, the moment I came in here, it was immediately a problem. I figured this, at the very least, a lot of stuff in this chamber is kind of a reward. I don't need those. Those are white. I'll just throw them away if I pick up better stuff anyway, so I'll just avoid for now. Just doing a quick... Let's play as Solus, actually. He's got the torch. Just better line of sight for the audience, I figure. If you're watching me run around, it's good to see things better. Alright, so I'm going around the outside of the room first, obviously, rather than going into the middle, because that'll be sort of the finale of this zone. Epitaphs for the lost. 2 emerged within an eve. As one they fought, as one fell. Rin, Ilan, Falondin, and Asel Anaste. I wish that Solus would translate. That just seems like his role here. Usually I bring him along because he tends to translate things. At the very least, let's light some braziers, just because it's fun to do. Makes me feel... Oh! Oh no, what have I done? Oh no, zombies! Why does it have to be snakes? I don't know why I said that. Just for no reason. I guess we're in the middle of tomb raiding, so I was thinking of tomb raiding. Alright, so... Well, that's a corpse. Why did I just try to bubble a corpse? That was dumb. Let's do some, let's have some fun. Let's go I'm gonna play as Sarah. Oh, cool, she's in slow-mo mode. What a coincidence. Let's have some fun. Ruining some corpse archers. Okay, that just probably bounce off something. Yep, that bounced a bit. Hit a few targets at once. Definitely gonna have to focus fire a bit. We're not focus firing, I don't know what I'm talking about. Focus fire is when you have your entire party attack the same guy. Well, they more or less do, but I was targeting individuals. So that happened. I must have triggered a trap. Was it because I lit the torches? There's a floating rune in the middle of the room. Maybe that's triggered by me lighting the torches. So maybe when I light all the torches, enemies will continue to attack across the path. But also maybe that's just garbage. Maybe we'll also progress forward through whatever happens next. Maybe there's some. Maybe by lighting those torches, I'm finishing some kind of ritual that will give me access to, probably a purple quality item. That seems like the logical conclusion to this is, hey, you got a purple, or hey, you got a amulet of power for Solus, perhaps, because this is such a Dalish-oriented quest. At the very least, I'll be able to go visit. Oh yeah, I need to go visit the Dalish and the Exalted Plains, since I got me some bear goodies. Although I might have to collect more than I have. So that we'd lit the 2 on one side. Let's light them on the other side. Requires
it just needs the magical touch.
My bad. I was playing as the wrong character. Mixing up my blonde, my elves with their yellowish colored hair. Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and not light so many of them at once, since clearly each individual torch spawns more baddies, so let's avoid the getting a little burdened here with enemies. That guy's on our team now. There's a corpse archer over here, and he's frozen, so now he's screwed. Wow. That giant skull that Dorian summons is pretty dramatic. Alright, so we'll go ahead and light the next one. After I pick up some loot. Yeah, more resources. I love crafting resources because they stack and don't take up my entire inventory the way that other items do. Blammo. So we have a number of enemies to deal with, but I'm sure they won't be too much of a hassle. I mostly dug myself into a back spot last time by lighting 2 things back to back. Suddenly, we were actually a little overwhelmed. Although this time it looks like there's more of them too. Huh. Because the last one I lit didn't actually bring in that many. I should be bubbling. What am I doing? Oh god, I've made a horrible mistake. I've made a mistake. Dorian, you gonna be okay, buddy? You alright? Dorian's not doing great. Oh, Solus is down too. This is not ideal. Try to group our enemies into one. Oh, that's what's going on. There's a fucking revenant. I just noticed that. He's like almost dead already, and I've just now noticed that he was even existed. Let's freeze his ass. Oh, it can't. He's immune to like everything apparently. Way to go, asshole. Well, the good news is that Vasti continues to be pretty much invincible because I upgraded the crap of his equipment like, admittedly like 30 episodes ago, but I was good about it. So he's pretty hard to beat at this point. He's probably been ready to beat the game since like episode 60. Like when we did the roughly when we were doing the Grey Warden quest. At that point, Vasti was probably, the party as a whole maybe even, may have already been good enough to beat the entire game. So we'll go ahead and use those heal over time potions, because that's why I have them. Save our pool of normal potions, because I don't really feel like running all the way back. Ooh, Estwatch Guard, a shield, 30 front defense like always, magic and melee defense. Ooh, gain 3 guard on hit. Not a bad shield. I'll keep Vasti's on, I think, because he gets a 5% damage bonus for every nearby enemy, which is a lot of enemies because he's the melee character. But that might be a fun shield to give to like Cassandra or so clearly that's where I'm gonna go next. But let's go down first to explore what's down there. Clearly it'd be a good shield to give to Cassandra or to Blackwall because hey, they could always use an upgrade in just general defenses. And that seemed like a relatively strong defensive item. Vasti, you want to move out of the way a little bit? There you go, you did it. So this place is totally empty. Although it does have the platform that I presume is what lifted up. I didn't see that platform come into place. I don't know if it warped in via magic or if it lifted up from the ground. I'll buy that it lifted up from the ground though. Seems like it may have. It's definitely not directly attached. There's like jointing where it's a separate thing that slid around. Alright, so can I grab this thing? This nightmare item? Do I even want to touch it? Take a quick look at the area first. Read. The Emerald Knights. Cry for the past, it shall claim us all. For here rest our saviors newly slain. Others lie beyond our reach, so we remember. Let the true name burn away and enter Dinanhanin, the place where glory ends. Andrale, whose song inspired, Soran, the bow in hand, Siona, who kept the bridge, Talim, who saved the child, Rin, who led them out, Elan, who kept watch, Elandrin, whom we betrayed. A blank space follows the names as if more were to be carved. Was it incomplete? Was it incomplete because something happened before they could finish, or is it incomplete because they were keeping an ongoing record of the people of the beings being memorialized here? I'm sure nothing horrible will happen when I touch this or anything. It definitely won't be any sort of weird Indiana Jones Ark of the Covenant stuff where my face melts off or anything, right? The death of Alandrin. Alandrin, our brother, Falandin guide you, Maker guide you. Let here. Well, that's interesting already. You have right there. You have an elven god reference, and you have like an Andrastan reference. Let here the truth be kept, lest you be remembered a traitor, or our sorrow seem a passing woe. Though you swore to serve our people, there were those questioning your heart. Too often had we fought with humans along our borders until the beginning was lost to memory. Rumors of an abduction stirred. As always, their chantry was swift to spread lies. In haste and anger, they killed Siona's sister for wandering too near the hunter's path. You carried her body back to us. You mourned with us. Yet your heart was distracted. Siona begged for vengeance, and you turned away. More and more you vanished without word or explanation. When whispers rose that you would swear yourself to their maker, we feared what would come. Siona sought to save you, to bring you back to us. She had lost a sister. Must she also lose a brother? Beneath the trees she saw you with a woman, the one who turned you from us. The woman gestured towards the village. You and she turned to gaze upon the chantry's walls. Siona returned. She told us how humans were turning you against us, how their lies must have filled you. As a loyal servant to the Maker's cause, You would betray our secrets. When we went to ask if there was a truth in this, you were already gone. So we sought to stop you. With haste, Siona led her people to the village. There we would challenge you. There we would bring you back to us, or to justice. In the dim of a moonless night, she saw Siona through the trees. She raced towards Siona, a cry on her lips and something in her hand. Siona's arrow flew, so the women fell. The name Elandrin dying on her lips, daisies slipping from her grasp. The men of the village suspected the girl's flight and heard the scream. They fell upon the elves, but were no match. Siona's haste surpassed your own. You knelt beneath the trees, blood-soaked petals clinging to your clothes from a final embrace. When more humans came, you would not be moved, and they would not listen. Their arrows found your heart, and you fell beside her. We found your body in the river where they cast you aside. She was taken by her own. It was not the end, but your part is the past. Rest now as our honored brother once more, a wreath of daisies at your brow, the letter she carried in your hand. Whoever guides you, whoever guides her, may your souls meet once more in the beyond. Faded blood stains the letter. Adeline, what care have I for gods I have never seen, for a maker I do not know? Let others distract themselves with such lofty concerns. I know only this life. I have seen only this world, and I care only for you. Perhaps your priestess distrusts the sincerity of uncivilized elves, but she must hear me say, I will follow the Maker. So, if she must hear me say I follow the Maker, so be it. Your God intercedes as much as ours. My life will not change. I will return in 2 weeks' time. The heart longs for you till then, and will remain with you forever after. Elandrin.
It's an account of the Red Crossing. When the elves attacked that town, it prompted the exalted march of the Dales.
Carifibut thought this was something good, but it's just the same old rubbish. Give it to a Dalish or whatever. They'll pretend it was worth it.
I imagine the Chantry would be interested in it as well.
Oh, what? Regions in the Plain quest completed. It just said that I've completed. It said that I've explored every region in the Exalted Plains, but I did it. It triggered when I teleported to a place I've already been to before. Anyway, this seemed like a relatively logical time to come back to the Exalted Plains Dalish tribe because, obviously, I already got those 3 bear pelts I needed to get more favor, and also, I'm not a monster. If we're gonna uncover histories of the Dalish, I'm gonna give them back to the Dalish. I'm not gonna sell them to the Chantry. That just seems kind of messed up to just start, hey, look, relics of people that still exist now. Let's go sell them to someone else. Also, between the bear pelts and the Dalish thing, the histories, maybe those 2 things will stack together for me to have them to have a better opinion of me in general. We'll find out. Place those hides. A well-stocked camp. Quest complete. All right, Nisa, was it the last thing?
Welcome again, friend.
Hey, more Dalish favor. Maybe we'll be able to recruit Lorinil soon. Oh yeah, they got nothing to say to me. That's it. Those bear pelts were the last thing they wanted me to deal with. By the grace of the Dalish, we're so close.
It's good to see you again.
I found something about Red Crossing in Danan Hanin.
If you went to the Emerald Graves, did you see Tavin and the others?
They were killed. I'm sorry.
I am too. Sorry, but not surprised. Thank you for bringing this to me. It is part of our tale and will be cherished. May your gods watch over you, friend.
Ta-da! Knight's Tomb has been completed. Oh! And just like that, we have enough favor to recruit Lorinil, so everything is working out perfectly.
Welcome again.
So that's why you don't sell it to the Chantry like a bunch of assholes.
Don't believe it. You convinced the Keeper. He said I can join the Inquisition if I wish.
Keeper Howan has given you permission to join the Inquisition.
He has. I'll report to your camp in the south if that's all right.
Carry on, Agent.
Wow. Not only did the quest perfectly coincide for me to complete the the grace of the Dalish, it also perfectly coincided to give me a new trophy. So everything's just turning out great. So what's left in the Exalted Plains anyway? That's the Emerald Graves, my bad. So all that's left is I need to find the key. The entrance of the Undead Grotto is locked. Find the key to the Grotto. Wherever that is. Wait. No, I've already explored it, right? The key can't just be sitting around. Well, now that I've maxed out Dalish reputation, I can go ahead and be a monster now and find the key. Alright, here we go. There's the key handle. This is horrible. I'm a horrible person. I can't help it. We gotta do all them quests, right? Alright, so 1 out of 3 keys. 3 key pieces found. Oh man, I'm a monster. I should not be doing this right now. Handle and shaft found. Part of my logic here is that the I've already flipped the switch of technically having already desecrated a tomb. If I hadn't accidentally done it before, I might have not done this, but I kind of already accidentally started desecrating the tomb, so that's what happened when we first came here. So now at this point, not doing it at all almost seems like a waste. Oh shit, a terror. We see those so infrequently. Go down. Deal with that guy. There we go, taken care of. So because I would have done this sooner because I'd already flipped the switch of like, oops, you desecrated graves. My bad. But I avoided going any further before because I didn't know if each subsequent grave was going to increasingly make the Dalish even more unhappy with us. So I didn't want to sabotage our attempts to try to recruit the new person. But hey, key's open. I'm a monster. Even though I just said I'm not a monster. Hey, I've done so much for these guys. I found them history and stuff. That means I can loot their corpses, right? Yeah, that's not how it works. Alright, quest completed. I'm almost level 21. By the way, trophy in this game for hitting level 20. Have not unlocked it. Even though I'm almost 21. Kind of problematic. Are they not going to come in here? Guys, please walk inside the doorway. If I walk them past a certain spot, will they, like, realize that they're supposed to be inside? Everyone gonna follow me now? Okay. Yeah, that was just game breaking for a bit. No big deal. Alright, any bad demons in here, or do I just get to get free stuff? Maybe a couple runes or something? Get some rings of not particularly high value. Mushroom. Mushroom. Getting all that monies. Alright. Not a lot, though. Taking a look around. There's gotta be something cool here. That staircase probably takes me somewhere, but I'm gonna check this other wall first. I'm gonna stop looting the plants, because I can get mushroom later. But let's see if anything cool shows up around here. While I'm looting people's graves, like a monster. Oh no! My inventory's full again! What have I done? Do I not have space for the not even the spider totem, okay. Wow, I had a chance to deal with this too when I teleported here, and I didn't. I'll take care of that real quick again. Alright. Got rid of some more white quality items, and we get another white quality item. I'll grab the valuable at the very least. That might be worth selling. Although I don't know if valuables are actually any more worth selling than equipment are. Anything cool? That's just a deep mushroom. Let's head on up here. Are we gonna have like a boss fight? Something gonna get mad at me? I feel like I needed to explore this place, right? It just seemed like it's not like something I should check it out. Also, it'd be cool to have the an entire zone deleted. Oh, blue quality, I'll take it. It'd be cool to get a entire zone deleted from my quest log. Like, you did everything in the Exalted Plains. That was crazy. What's back here? I'm missing something. There's something chiming, like, right here. And I can't see what it is. It is very dark in here, by the way. Mosaic piece. Oh no. If you wanted to complete the mosaic, you had to desecrate tombs to break into this place. I guess there's tomb raiding kind of built into the story of some parts of this game in general. Just sometimes you get permission, sort of, but not quite necessarily better. Some more blues, and my character glitching through the screen like a boss. Alright, last but not least. Oh god, what am I doing? What's it gonna be? Some blue items. Yeah, that's it. That's all we get. That's the entirety of our accomplishments. Yeah, the Exalted Plains are off the map, so we did it. Wow. That was actually genuinely disappointing. Like, congratulations, you found out how to get into the tomb. What's in there? Not a purple. Not a boss fight of like an evil demon, like how dare you come in here? You've offended the spirits of our lord or whatever. No. You get like a couple blues and then you're like, oh, well I guess I'm a terrible person. That was a dick move. Is their leader gonna be mad at me again?
You have proven yourself to be an ally of the Dalish, friend. If Lorinel still wishes to join you, he has my blessing. May your gods watch over you, friend.
You're right. I have proven myself to be an ally. Please don't check out your backyard anytime soon. Welcome back to the war table. We're here because I saw something new show up as I was doing the Exalted Plane things where I helped out the Dalish.
That Dalish elf who joined us is eager, to say the least.
The Dalish possess great knowledge. We should be honored to have him with us. Bestow mourning Hala, Inquisitor. In light of the information you gave us regarding the truth of the events at Red Crossing, we would like to offer a sign of mourning to the village. Since both sides played a part in this tragedy, honoring the village with one of our Hala seems appropriate. If it could be kept there, it might remind both sides of the fragile beauty of things that journey to places where they are strangers. I understand that the villagers of Red Crossing do not trust the Dalish, given our history. If you could convince them to accept the tribute in good faith, it would be greatly appreciated. Keeper Howen. Josephine says, I can twist the noble who controls the Red Crossing into accepting this, but it will end 2 marriages and lead to at least one duel. What the hell? Liliana. With the right rumors, the villagers in Red Crossing will think they are being granted custody of a captured trophy to honor their victory over the Dalish. Cullen. If it's important, we can march the blasted Hala in with some troops to guard it. None of these are great options. Ideally, we would convince them... Ideally, we would convince the other party to understand the tragedy here. Like, it's a mutual tragedy. It's meant to symbolize that. Liliana's strategy involves misleading the villagers in the purpose of it, which means the villagers themselves aren't going to appreciate it, so the symbol's kind of lost. Cullen, we can just march it in with force, but that could be seen with hostility. And Josephine can do nobility, but I don't... Huh. Even then, it's like none of these are super satisfying options. I think I'm just going to go with the straightforward option, because I don't like Liliana or Josephine's solutions for the problem.
All right.
I just wish we could get all parties to understand what's going on behind the scenes with the, you know, with like the symbolism, but I guess not. Alrighty then. So, since we're back in Skyhold, I'm gonna go talk to everyone in town again. I'll cut it out whenever there's not actually something being said that's new, but I have a theory that whenever you get a new zone, you unlock new dialogue for specific characters because they have story quests you can do in those areas. So I want to check in with my various party members to see if I have triggered anything new by running around to the Emerald Graves. And after we're done with that, I'll go back in the Emerald Graves to finish off all the stuff that's going on in the west that I haven't finished yet. And along with that, I'll do any story missions I may trigger in the next few minutes. We'll see how it goes. Josephine?
It's good to see you.
As there is but one world, one life, one death, there is but one God.
You and Liliana appear to know each other.
We met... let me think. We met the last few years of my schooling, but we became friends after I became ambassador to Olay. It seems terrifyingly long ago now.
How exactly did you and Liliana reconnect in the Inquisition?
I discovered my family had been overcharging a merchant we traded with for months. Our name carries a great deal of trust in Antiva. I spent weeks arranging a string of favors as suitable recompense. Apparently satisfied, the merchant extended me an invitation to her estate. Liliana greeted me in place of the merchant.
I assume there was more to it than a strange way to say hello.
It was a test of sorts. Liliana claimed she needed someone of painful integrity for the Inquisition. I accepted, once she finally explained what it was.
Do you remain close?
Yes,
But she's grown so much more distant than the outgoing woman I met in Battle Royale. Leliana used to wander the Orlesian courts, singing the sweetest songs, charming the greatest wits. Now she collects secrets and takes risks that would make empires tremble. I worry, but she will not hear it.
Does Leliana confide in you?
She enjoys revisiting our more disastrous adventures. Leliana used to concoct the most ridiculous plans. Run if you ever see her with a twine ball, a measuring stick, and a handkerchief.
Maybe something from Solus? He is the one from the, he's got the most connection to the people we're dealing with in the Dalish Elves areas anyway.
My friend.
I'd be interested in hearing your opinions on elven culture.
Perhaps you could ask Sarah. She has opinions.
You don't much care for Sarah, do you?
I pity her. Although I imagine she would detest that. Perhaps in truth, I envy her. She has a purity of purpose that I lack. I have observed too much and done too little. What do you wish to know?
I'd like to know more about the elves from before our time.
The Dalish strive to remember Hallam Shiral. But Hallam Shiral was merely a fumbling attempt to recreate a forgotten land.
Arlathan.
Elvenan was the empire, and Arlathan its greatest city. Place of magic and beauty, lost to time.
You've studied ancient elves. What else do you know of Arlathan?
We hear stories of them living in trees, and imagine wooden ramps or Dalish Erebels. Imagine instead spires of crystal twining through the branches, palaces floating among the clouds. Imagine beings who lived forever, for whom magic was as natural as breathing. That is what was lost.
I'd like to know more about the Dalish elves.
It is a mistake to think of the Dalish as a single group. They have lived as separate clans for centuries now. As a consequence, each clan has learned, interpreted, and forgotten different parts of elven history. Some trade freely with humans, or adopt city elves who flee the alienages. Others attack humans on sight.
What can you tell me about elves living in human cities?
The culture in alienages or among the slaves of Tevinter is like any of the impoverished and powerless. They cling to memories of a better past, and practice a few rituals to distinguish themselves from humans.
Is elven magic different from the magic used by humans?
No and yes. Magic is magic, just as water is water, but it can be used in different ways. Dalish magic is more practical, not needing chantry approval, although they still frown on blood magic. Superstition. Much of it is more subtle. A legacy from when elves were immortal.
Legends of elven immortality. Did they use magic to increase their lifespan?
No. It was simply part of being elven. The subtle beauty of their magic was the effect, not the cause of their nature. Some spells took years to cast. Echoes would linger for centuries, harmonizing with new magic in an unending symphony. It must have been beautiful.
You said that the censure against blood magic was a superstition.
I did. It's fortunate Cassandra is not within earshot. Most modern cultures forbid blood magic. Publicly, even Tevinter disapproves of it. But as I said, magic is magic. It matters only in how it is used.
Every time I've seen blood magic used, it has been for some evil purpose.
I once saw a woman stabbed in the stomach with a dagger. She died slowly, in agony. It was repulsive. If the Chantry outlawed daggers, would that stop people from using them? Of course not. Some would use daggers in secret, ashamed, and some would find rebellion titillating, a step down the path of depravity.
You don't need to sacrifice a slave's life to make a dagger.
I suppose it depends upon the dagger. How many men have you killed while fighting for the Inquisition? How many more will you kill out of necessity? And if blood magic could help you? Well, it matters little to me. I do not use it, but I do not think it evil.
We'll talk later.
Goodbye.
Well, we definitely want the gun control argument sort of support there, over there. It's not guns that kill people. It's people kill people. And then, like, if you outlaw guns, then that whole argument of, like, if you outlaw guns, criminals will still use them. It's I don't know if that's really an argument about whether or not blood magic's good or bad, though. And yeah, it's very difficult to find it ever used in any positive way, except for maybe when we saved the little kid in Redcliffe in the first game. But even then, that might have even been a stretch. Anything new from Vivian?
My dear, did you need me for something?
What are your thoughts about the others in the Inquisition?
I don't know what to make of Solus. So much knowledge and so little personal history. I find that peculiar. Don't you?
Cullen.
Samson took everything from those Templars. He corrupted their souls, twisted them into everything they stood against, everything they would have hated.
We seem to have encountered a glitch where instead of showing me dialogue information, it's showing me my normal combat interface. I think I'm gonna have to come back.
I know the Red Templars fight for Corypheus, but I feel sorry for them.
They're barely human now. The Red Lyrium left Samson's mind unaltered. He knew what he was doing, and he dares speak as though it were a mercy? The man's a monster. I sent word to Kirkwall. Samson will pay for his crimes there. I'm sure of it.
Samson got what he deserved.
The men and women he betrayed, they deserved something better. Samson deserves nothing. The Red Templars needed to be torn down. We've broken Corypheus's army. I might have known some of them. If my life had gone differently, I might have been one of them. Do you ever wonder what would have happened if you had not been at the Conclave? If you'd never become the Inquisitor?
I mean, I kind of know, because, I kind of know what would have happened if things didn't work out properly, because we did have that, was it the Envy Demon that showed us what would happen, I think, if we never existed as we? But, my life would certainly be simpler.
Why would I care about what might have been? I'm here now.
And Corypheus is still out there.
Until we stop him, yes.
So that's Colin grieving in pretty much the way that you'd expect him to in the context of the situation that's happened. Not an Emerald Graves dialogue, of course. It's related to what happened like 10 episodes ago in our last story mission, and it's specifically triggered because I talked to everybody during that episode 100 as the wrap-up, and I assume what happened is that it didn't trigger this particular dialogue because I had to judge that character first. We had to do the trial first. And so now that the sentence has been done, we triggered the dialogue about it. I'll give it a chance again to see if something new comes up, but we'll see.
I do not like having that mirror, Illuvian, in Skyhold. Corypheus may not be able to travel through it, but what if something else can?
Morrigan's our expert on the Illuvian. If you're worried, why don't you ask her?
I did.
And?
She said I was unreasonable, then offered to explain how the Illuvian works using words with less than 4 syllables.
Ah.
The Circle had a library. I'm fairly well read.
Right.
I'm not unreasonable.
Is there anything I should know?
I'm glad to have the charges on our side. Bull's men are professionals, despite evidence to the contrary.
You and the Red Templars' leader seem to have personal history.
When I arrived in Kirkwall, Samson and I shared quarters. He seemed a decent man at first. Knight Commander Meredith later expelled Samson for erratic behavior. He ended up begging on Kirkwall streets. He committed further crimes, but managed to evade the Order's justice. Now Samson serves Corypheus as his loyal general.
Why do you think Samson joined Corypheus?
He had a chronic lyrium addiction. He spent every last coin buying it from local smugglers. Perhaps Corypheus flattered his vanity, gave him purpose as well as lyrium. Perhaps that's all it took.
Personal history or no, we can't afford pity.
Have no fear. There'll be none. I don't understand how he became so powerful. Even with red lyrium, Samson's glory days are long behind him.
Alright, we are still triggering... Oh, whoa, sliding all over the place again. So we're triggering new dialogue, so let's give it one last shot.
Inquisitor?
Nope. Hello, Cassandra.
Planning troop movements now?
I'm trying to imagine what it will look like when we're done. All of this once belonged to the Tevinter Imperium. Andraste changed that, as did the Blights. As for what will come next, I cannot guess the Maker's plan.
We make the world a better place.
Because everyone agrees on what better means. I know I want a world where people trust the Chantry and that trust is respected. I want to respect tradition, but not fear change. I want to right past wrongs, but not avenge them. And I have no idea if my wanting these things makes any of them right.
Even if they're not right, they're certainly admirable.
Some would disagree. They would call it heresy.
That didn't sound like the ravings of a heretic, Cassandra.
Perhaps not. But it takes precious little effort to paint even an act of compassion as damaging. Tell me, what guides you? You make decisions that shake the world, yet always seem so assured. I wish I had your confidence.
You almost sound like you admire me.
I absolutely do. I may not always agree with your decisions, but how many could do what you have done? You were a prisoner, accused and reviled, yet you've emerged from every trial victorious. The Maker's grace does not make you immortal. You live or die by your own hand. That is worthy of admiration.
I'm guided by what my conscience tells me.
Your conscience must speak more clearly than mine.
I doubt it, but I do my best.
When we first met, if someone told me I would be pleased to have you lead me, I would have throttled them. But I am. The Maker chose well.
I hope we can call each other friends.
I hope so too. We still have a long road to travel, Inquisitor. Wherever it takes us, I'm glad you're here.
I think that dialogue right there really does a good job at symbolizing why I want Cassandra to be the next divine. Really, is that you look at that dialogue, like she is conflicted about what she's doing. She's questioning herself, and that's important. I think in a leader, as a leader for the question themselves. I'm constantly second guessing half the shit that I'm doing in this game. I kind of wanted to tell her that there wasn't really an applicable option, but I wanted to say, "Oh, you think I'm self-assured? That's the secret. I'm not assured of what I'm doing. I'm doubting half the things I do. And I wanted her to know that that's normal, because that's ideal. What concerns me about Leliana is that she's become cold-hearted, like the cold-hearted, like the hard character she's become. That's fine. That's a good character arc, and it's good. She serves a role as that in that position, but the dedication, the single-mindedness, the thing where she thinks I'm doing things my way and it's going to work because it's going to work, and like there's a problematicness there. Like I think a leader with that much responsibility needs to question themselves, or we're going to be in some serious trouble. I'll check again to see if we can trigger anything else.
It's good to see you.
Do you have any advice for me?
Find Corypheus. If he vanishes, he will only rebuild his power and come at us again. And he will come. Whatever mad play the Magister has in mind, you star as his nemesis. I shudder to think what a creature like that could concoct next, given the time.
That's enough for now.
Another time, then.
Alright, that's all we're going to get out of her for now. Alright, what about Iron Bull?
Good to see you, boss.
So how did you get the name Iron Bull?
I picked it. You know how it is. Even growing up Talvashath, your parents had to tell you about some of it, right? No names. I figure your parents chose yours the same way. Nice going on a dar, by the way. Weapon. I like that.
Why specifically Iron Bull?
This may surprise you, but I really like hitting things. Also, it's the Iron Bull, technically. I like having an article at the front. It makes it sound like I'm not even a person, just a mindless weapon. An implement of destruction. That really works for me.
Can you tell me more about Saharan?
It was a damn ugly place. Only getting uglier when I left. Between the Fog Warriors, the Talvashath, my people, and the Vince. You were lucky to go a day without blood. What do you want to know?
What are things like for the natives of Saharan?
I remember one guy. He made these things, fish wrapped in thin bread. Nice guy. Talked to him every morning. So, one time I'm asking about his bad back, and I see he's nervous, trying to tell me something with his eyes. Next thing I know, his assistants draw knives and come at my team. The rebels had forced him to poison my food.
And then?
I'd seen how nervous he was, so I hadn't eaten anything. A couple of my guys weren't so lucky. We killed the rebels. I lost 2 men to the poison, another to knife wounds. My friend who made the fish wraps died with a knife in his throat. Close quarters fight. He was caught in the middle. That is what things are like for the natives of Saharan.
What were the Fog Warriors like?
They were the worst of the rebels. They trained for stealth attacks. They made this fog. I never saw any mages, so I figured it was alchemy, not magic. They were almost invisible in it. I'd be on patrol in the market square. The fog would roll in, and before I knew it, half my squad dead without a sound.
It almost sounds like you admire them.
They didn't use poison. They didn't hurt civilians, and they were damn good fighters. You have to respect that. Plus, they hit the Vince as hard as they hit us. Hearing some terrified Magister scream, "My slaves! Where are my slaves?" in the fog always put a smile on my face.
Tell me about the Tevinter people you fought.
The Vince sent forces to Saharan every autumn. Guess they didn't like the summer heat. We had some good fights on the beaches, standing in knee-high water foaming red with blood, ships on fire around us. The cities were worse. Free bit of advice. Don't let the Inquisition forces get suckered into urban combat.
Why do you hate Tevinter forces so much? What makes them so bad?
It's not their armies. It's their spies. They bloodied Saharan year-round, killing loyalists, supporting rebels. Alam had no city administrator. Nobody would accept the position. The last 4 who held it died inside a year. Trying to conquer a country is one thing. Making it so nobody can live there, that just screws everyone.
See you later, Bull.
Nice talking with you, boss.
Definitely know you're dealing with a warrior when they talk about the enemy with such admiration. And hey, we got to learn what my name means finally. Adar. Literally means weapon, apparently.
To sell to him, to
I
his
think that was our
face.
first chance to know that particular piece of information. As far as I know, I'm sure it's something that people could have found out at any point just by knowing more about the language, of course, but that was news to me. Any fun new scenes for Sarah?
You're a champion now or something. Great. Special. Don't be a shit about it. I'm watching you.
Is your network of contacts still active after what happened?
After Lord Arsehole and Vishal? Of course. He may have killed people, but that just means there's more who hate him. It's crap that he killed people, though. They were just trying to stand up a little.
Is Red Jenny real? Or was she always just you and your friends?
Dunno.
Don't you care?
Not if it works. I mean, Red is scary because blood. And Jenny is... Look, nobody fears the bunch of people who do random stuff. And besides, it's easy. Nobles want a bogeyman because they need to believe normal people can't get at them. Numbers, right? It don't have to be so complicated.
Doesn't this mean people think you're guilty of more than you actually do?
Suppose. Does it matter?
shouldn't it?
Important people kill over imagined insults. I've made more than enough real ones, so no. I don't suppose it does.
We annoyed some nobles. Does that really help all that much?
Gets you paid, for one. You seem happy enough about that. I don't get what's so hard to understand. Your stuff works the same. Your Inquisition, I mean. Punch a bully, people like you. Do it because they asked, or let them think they asked. They like it even more. It's inspiring, even if it sometimes goes tits up and they take a hit back. You know, like Haven.
I get it, kind of. We just don't think of what you do as that kind of inspiration.
Well, we should take a good hard look at where our people come from. All the same people. At least my baddies are understandable. No kicking in the sky there.
We'll talk another time.
It's all good, innit?